question.
So it says, does the poem tell a story? I feel like it does because it's like explaining like the hard work that her father does and like how he does it really against the people and everything that they get to experience and witness.
Right. Arabic coffee.
She uses a lot of complex sentence structure in this, maybe to explain like that she is telling the story, and also she uses a hyperbole, a hyperbole, which could be taken literally or not literally. When she says no sugar in his pot, which means like that even though the coffee is bitter, they still can get together and have like a sweet moment.
Okay, let me ask you. Let's break that word down. Sugar. What are the different ways sugar can be used?
Yeah, to sweet things up. Like, yeah.
How about? No, I'm not saying this to you, but if I say, "Sugar, come here," what did I just say?
Sweeties.
Yeah. So that could also, that describes a person, right?
Right.
All right. How about if I say, "Don't be sugarcoating this thing for me. Tell me the
You
truth."
can be like, yeah, truthful.
We can keep going, but I'm just saying, you hit on something with that word sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Very nice.
I came right back to her.
Oh,
Perfect. All right.
Oh.
So in the title, Arabic coffee, I feel like it's like very specific because the whole poem talks about how like, well not the whole, like a big section of it talks about how like the differences between like the way men and women like they depart when they go to meetings, and their Arabic coffee, I keep saying Arabic coffee shows how like they can all come together and be together even though like in the culture men and women don't necessarily stay together and like have a whole like nice thing together.
Going off of her, when she stated that both men and women could be in the same room enjoying the same thing, it also stated that in measure 19 to 21. Line 19 to 21, it says, and none was more important than the others, and all were guests. That not only stated that the men and women were equal, but no one was more important than the person next to them.
So about Arabic coffee, like it says, so when everyone's together, I guess sometimes when they don't have anything to talk about, so like they need to find a subject to talk about. So I'm assuming that like Arabic coffee can also be a topic to talk about, like how like it's really good and stuff. Like it says the coffee was the center of the flower, like clothes on a line saying live long enough to wear me. Like it's talking about how Arabic coffee can be like the center of the conversation, or like it can be the center of like anything, I guess. And like, yeah.
So to go off like what he said, it's like it's saying that it could be like this intermittent thing, but it's like it's also like it's the thing that's like bringing everybody together. Like they all have that in common that they like coffee, and it can just like I guess create a community within itself. Yeah.
I'm saying the same thing.
Okay, let me ask a question on that. In that TED Talk we watched, the guy said some statistic that people who drink coffee tend to live longer. Do you think it's because of the coffee, or do you think it's because of what you do when you drink coffee? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is it the coffee itself, or is it the kind of person and the kind of activities a person who drinks coffee partakes in?
I think it could be either or because there are like beneficial things to coffee, but also like coffee, the things that people do when they drink coffee, it's like probably beneficial. So it just depends on the person
All right.
and what they do.
I think think that it's like it makes everybody happy, everybody feel peaceful, and I also think that it takes away stress levels when you're actually laughing and enjoying yourself. So that's probably why you probably live longer while drinking coffee.
All right, I'll do a terrible stereotype. Here it is. Lazy people go to the QT and drink a 64-ounce Coke. All right. Movers and shakers get themselves like an espresso coffee. See what I'm saying? That like people who got purpose and things to do tend to drink coffee. People who ain't got nothing to do, they go to they don't call them. In Florida, I used to live in. We grew up at 7-Eleven. They had the big gulp, right? But in QT, but you know what I mean? In QT, you get a big giant sugar soda, and that's not the mover and shaker. I don't know what you think of that. That about coffee tends to attract people who have purpose. You know, or maybe that's just my prejudice. All right, so.
Not good flavors.
You drink coffee, do you have a purpose?
All right.
So, the coffee was the center of the floor, like clothes on a line saying you will live long enough to learn the emotional faith. There's this and there's more. All this, I feel like all this connects together because emotion of faith, there's this and more. It connects to the center of the flower because as they all gather together, there's more faith that like maybe in the future there can be more closeness between both genders and not so diverse. And there's also like simile there.
Very good.
I want to talk about the first sentence, which says it was never too strong for us. I believe that like she's saying that she has been like her community has been through a lot. So she like explains in the first sentence that it was never too strong for us. Basically.
Wow. So you see it. She's not just talking about coffee.
Right.
She's talking about something greater.
Yeah.
And that, very good.
Also under that, it says, tell again how the years will gather in small white cups. It's like when everyone's gathered with coffee, they have a small white cup with like not much coffee in it, but how the years will gather, but you're talking about so much, you don't feel how little is in that cup.
Has anybody ever had those shots of coffee?
My mom has a bunch of those cups.
You ever take a little espresso thing and you just go.
Cuban coffee?
Yes. And in Arabic culture it's a similar thing. You just get a little shot. It's like you're putting like 4 cups of coffee in your mouth, and that little the potency is really strong. You know, just like that. Hot. It puts hair on your tongue.
So I also want to talk about there's a simile. It says in the dreams tuck like pocket handkerchiefs into each day, which is basically like her that like what she was saying is more than just coffee, and like it also ties to what Chelsea was saying, like there's hope for the future, and like every day her dad does that and like tucks his own dreams away to like make other people feel better, and like there's hope for the future that maybe one day it can be different. I'm so sorry. I'm going off what Maria and my love was saying. There is a bigger picture because it says dreams tuck like pocket handkerchiefs into the day, touch this on the table, nearly have empty dishes of corn. I feel like it talks about how like they left, maybe like if they were living in poverty, like no matter what their background is, they all came together, like forgot everything about it and just like dealt with what was in front of them, which was like the coffee and like everything the new things it could bring to them.
Oh, so I feel like this poem is very optimistic, and it includes Middle Eastern culture, specifically Arabian culture, because in the interview between Naomi and Miss Tippett, she mentioned that her parents were very like kind people, but they're also like very like they value tradition, they value that family time.
Yeah.
And so like her parents are open-minded, and they didn't necessarily conform to like what their parents wanted for them, whether it was like their career choice or their religion or even stuff that they kept down centuries in their culture. And I feel like she incorporated that into both like her poems.
Very nice. And if we'll take that one as final comment, give them a hand.